Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chilton Streams. My name is Josh, and today we are going to be returning to playing some Shapes. That's right, it's Factory Friday, and I am still not feeling good. I also just found out that my family has plans this evening that I'm asked to join. And so I have to modify my streaming schedule a little bit, so we're going to be playing this for maybe an hour. Because it's important to me to continue my schedule. Why are we playing more Shapes today? Well, because this is happening earlier than I wanted it to. I have nothing else prepared. I really enjoy Shapes, and I had some people ask about modded Shapes. We're going to be playing some modded Shapes. If only the title had suggested that to begin with. Fixing my OBS, sorry. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Hello. Okay. If you're new and you're unfamiliar, Shapes is a fantastic factory game which basically emulates circuitry. I've been playing on this level a little bit on my own. I had a sick day. The way it works is very simple. You have shapes. Here's a shape. These are diamonds. You mine those shapes using miners, and then you import them onto belts. You then use a variety of tools to cut and color. This one's the color. To cut and color and modify and recombine the shapes in various ways. You can rotate them, you can flip them. Let's rotate and recombine these shapes. Boom. Just like that, we have created this new shape. It's a stacked shape. That's the basis of the game. And through some systematic modular orientation, you end up creating bigger and bigger shapes. So this is a machine that takes this combination shape. It removes the squares, keeping only the blades. So it turns these into these. And then it pumps them into some coloring machines. We're mining color over here. And then we export them. It's blocked because I don't need these anymore. See, the whole purpose of the game functions by this. This is the hub. And the hub demands sacrifice. I'm going to change this light. My face is very red. It's not helping the complexion of my skin. So what do we want? Do we want purple? Purple lights? Vote for purple. Purple. Yeah, that's purple. Okay. So I'm on level 12 here. We are in active production of these little guys. Oh, some lag. These are my blueprint. They're blueprint bots. Primarily, the game we're playing is Shapes Industries, and it modifies the default, the vanilla blueprint system to be these shapes instead, which aren't necessarily more complicated. There we go. The game was lagging there for a second. Basically, to make blueprint bots, you take circles, you color them blue. You take diamonds and cut them in half. You stack those underneath the circles. And then you take some white upside-down circles, and you mix them on top. A new upgrade is available. How do you make white circles? Well, you make white by combining all of the dye colors. We're doing that over here. So red and green together makes yellow. Blue and red makes magenta. If you mix the third color into that, you get white as a perfect output. We are not getting very much white here. Have I unlocked miner? I have. So let's change this out because I've got some new technology. We have these better miners, better extractors. And we're going to use these better extractors to produce more color for us. So there, we've got more green coming through. Let's fix our red production. Yeah, same issue. Let's go overkill on our red. There, that's much more than this single belt is going to be able to handle. 2 continuous belt inputs of red and green should give us 4 or 8 continual outputs of yellow. Drink for knowledge. Eventually it'll fill up and cover the backlog and stuff. There are ways to optimize this setting. I'm not that worried about it. The creation of bots is going to be fairly passive, but this will certainly increase our color production. Do we still need yellow? We do not need yellow. Have I turned this off? I have not. Okay, let's turn off yellow production. We're gonna keep the yellow and we're gonna route it into making more white for us. Because that's the bottleneck right now, is our yellow production. I gotta fix this. Right now I have 1 going into 1, and all 4 of these going into just this one. And they don't tear down. Without moving everything, there is no way to fix that. So we'll move everything. So we can take advantage of what we're making. I'm going to select this area to create a section. I'm going to press X, confirm cut. That will cut that tile, and I'm going to move the whole thing over and paste it down there. We're then going to reconnect our red and green up right away. That's going to do backlog, and it seems like it didn't like the mixers I was using, so we'll get those back in place. Did it not like them because they're flipped? Was I using the flipped versions? It appears I was for some reason. With that, we can restore the whole blueprint to its native symmetrical size, which will look like this. There we go. So now all of these colors are going in, and all of them are coming out, and then I'm going to do the opposite of what we have here. And this is going to allow each of these dividers to go into the blue and divide across to the next band. Like that. And now we have full yellow production. Cool. So that'll increase our white circle production in a small way. I'm doing all of this as like a minor improvement. White circles become more important later, and all of this is basically going to get destroyed because I need space around the hub for belting things in. But for this purpose of gameplay, I'm not that worried about it, because today we are going to be making this machine. This shape. It's not a machine. It does nothing but exist. We can go to our layers and we see this is a 2-layer shape, but it's a little more complicated than that, because this uses 3 of the 4 prime shapes. We have diamonds, we have circles, and we have squares. And we can see our general ratios being used in here. We can see that there's a circle being used on both ends, so that's 1 complete circle, but we're only using 2 of the diamonds. So we need 2 belts of circles per 1 belt of squares and diamonds. Which is good to know. We are also going to need green and red as our main colors, because green and red come together to make yellow. So we need to find an area that has squares, diamonds, and circles, as well as green and red color. I'm looking right over here. Oh, circles, diamonds, squares, squares, and diamonds. One belt of each of these will give us our shape. I also have a challenge. If you saw the first video that I did on shapes last week, I talked about normally I build in modular systems like this. So I have a module that does one thing. So this module makes yellow. This module makes white. This combines it together to make circles. And then there's another module here that cuts the circles. I believe this is how the game is intended to be played. But we're going to flip that on its head today, and we are going to play it a little differently. We're going to make one machine that takes the raw inputs and turns them into their various bits. And we're going to be doing that over here. We'll do it in this space. So let's look at what we have. Let's grab some circles. And we're going to grab these shapes. This is the perfect shape for what we need, because we need squares and diamonds. We use shift to grab our pieces and drag them over here vaguely. And then we have red and green. So, what do we want to do to make this? Well, the first thing we should do is we should separate our squares and diamonds and arrange those shapes. Then we can cut up the circle. Now, I believe I have unlocked the laser cutter. Yes, excellent. We're going to start with what I think is the hardest part of this whole thing, and that's going to be breaking apart this. So that's going to start... what direction do I want to build this in? I can build it. So there's two directions you need to think of. The machine that I'm building, the module, is going to stretch forward, meaning our input's going to be on this side and our output is going to be on this side. And then we're going to stack those modules vertically. That's the example here. One module is 2 tiles wide here. It's these 2 tiles, and then we stack them across. I think this will end up becoming something of a square, but we're going to build this way. You can change your brain to like fit anywhere. I usually build horizontally or bottom to top. It's very rare that I build a machine with the inputs on the top and the outputs on the bottom. Like this doesn't really count because for me this is an input left and an output right. I can do left and right just fine, but I typically don't do the opposite of this where I'm inputting here and then outputting down. Whatever. Yeah, here, this is a rare example. So I'm importing in from the top and then I'm building down and outputting out the bottom. And even still, this is still a module where the modules are this way. So it's still left to right. Anyway. So we're going to take this. That's going to cut it like that. We're going to rotate each of these pieces. Cool. And then we need to cut each of them again now that they're rotated. And that will give us the individual chunks. Awesome. Which corners? This corner of the square is correct, looking over here. This one needs to be rotated down. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise, the way the arrow's pointing. I have upgrades. Yeah. Big one. Get that upgrade. Boom. Next, we'll have to do this. I don't know how to use packing. That's part of a mod. So I'm not even going to worry about it. And this shape requires a tool we don't even have yet. I played Shapes Industries once before, and I remember there was like a second toolbar. We'll see. Getting us the shape might unlock that. Anyway, so this is correct. This is correct. This needs to be flipped up, so we're going to rotate that counterclockwise as well. And that's going to get our pieces. We're then going to take those pieces, and we're going to flip them around. And now we have those two shapes that we need. I said that was going to be the hardest part, but that was easy. We even have an efficiency loss here because we can take these and compress them down. Sometimes when I'm building, I will add belts in between everything so I can see the individual stages, and then I'll build a second machine and compress everything together. once I know what it is. Okay, the next thing we need to do is take our circles and cut them into pieces. I could do the same thing, use this to cut the circles into pieces, but I have a tool that will do that for me automatically. This is the laser cutter. There's a way... What is layers? There's an advanced feature. Keybiting should show me. I think it's called switch layers. Select placement. It's gotta be in here. Building shortcuts. I'm not going to press press all the keys on the keyboard to find out. I'm not going to press all the keys on the keyboard. Switch layers. There it is. E. How did I not hit E? Oh, it just doesn't work. Maybe I haven't unlocked it yet. There's a way you can like control what lasers activate or something. Again, I'm not just playing Shapes Industries. I've got like a mod pack I put together, so some things might be conflicting and like bugging out. I don't know. Anyway, so we can like connect the belts we want together, or we can rotate things. And I think rotating is going to be the more effective thing. I'm not getting more shapes because these are blocked. I have to purge the system. There we go. So this shape is correct. We're going to flip this one counterclockwise. We're seeing a thing happening here. Oh, and I need that twice. So this shape is correct. We're going to rotate that clockwise. This one counterclockwise. There we go. And just like before, we have our outputs. Oh, this is wrong. Gotta flip this direction. I'm also going to use the mirrored version of this tool. I don't know which mod adds mirrored versions of all the tools. I think it's its own mod, but I love it. Have I done it again? There we go. Okay. Yep. So again, the circles, these are facing the same direction. The circles are facing the same direction. So now we have circles. We have those. And you can see that these modules would fit together. Not going to worry about that right away. I've got to figure out where these circles are going to go next. Well, actually, they're going to go... If I took this and I flipped here, I could literally just do another one. And that would give me my red shape. That's pretty nice. And then this, I can flip. Okay, we are in fact going to take this, and we're going to move it over. Press V to... What do you mean? It says cost 20, 50... I have 4K. Does it not know what any of the pieces are? This is gonna suck as a run if I can't use the copy-paste functions, because this game scales on copy and paste. What am I building here? Let's flip this around. Like, do you know what this is? Can you paste any machines? Belts are good. Let's cycle through all the options. Like, I could see the mini machines. Those not working. Oh, I can click on it. That's fun. Why? I don't know why I'm making this blueprint look pretty. But I am. Well, that is truly not helpful. Anyway, okay. So now we need to color these. Again, we have our inputs coming from this side. Damn it! It would be so good! It would be so good if I could do that. Can I do it here? No, I can't even do that. As I'm looking and staring blankly without saying anything, my brain is like mentally reshuffling pieces, rapidly trying to find where I can end these. That's interesting. It actually doesn't save me any space. Gives me the one tile. If I take this whole thing and I cut it and move it down one tile. I have to rebuild this too. Oh, God. Is this right? This one's. I got one of them right. The reason I'm doing that is it allows me to do this. It lets me get my color inputs in. This needs to be rotated in that direction. Then I can use that one tile merger again here. I could also oh, something's wrong somewhere. Here. There we go. And you work now. There we go. Okay. This isn't as helpful to me because it needs to get colored to two different things. This is easy. This just becomes, I need the color. This just becomes red. So I need a red input here. But each of these need to be different colors. I could color the halves in advance. How complicated would that be? I also need to make yellow. Take you off here. So what I'm wanting to do is cut each of these. No, it's the circles. It's the circles that get cut. This also definitely to be at least that so that I can get some red. I don't want to input the red somewhere else. That would be crazy. I don't put this together here. These are easy. These are green. It's these other ones that are more complicated. These need to be turned into yellow. And that requires me to make yellow. Wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, I want... Fuck. I want better belts. Better underground belts. This is gonna be green. Green's coming in here. Oh. Does this work? Let's make sure this works. Yeah, that works. Okay. I'm like, I think I can do the same thing here. I can't do the same thing here. Because it's only one side. Green has to come in from the top. Okay. That clarifies some things. These shapes come in here. Green comes in from the top. This is green. They go out. These are just the circles. Let's get some circles going there. Green circles. This is yellow. But it needs to come in from the top. No, it doesn't. I can just use a normal one. It doesn't need to be one tile. Because painting takes so long. Don't you dare. Oh, it's beautiful. We just do something like that, and then we do something like this. Go this, in, and this. now we just get some green. They are a little bit a game of belt leapfrog there. There we go. And this should just work. It should. Yes, I know what I'm doing is inefficient. It's gonna cause bottlenecks everywhere. Like this. This is a massive bottleneck for the yellow production. I know it's gonna cause bottlenecks everywhere. That's not the point. The point is, can I do it? And of course I can. My webcam was like perfectly lined up with the green belt. That's kind of satisfying. Especially that my shelves are green. Why are they green? Red. Okay. Yep. This is working. Working flawlessly. And I think it's literally that simple. Yay! Sounds. Let's grab this thing and delete it. I don't think... Oh, that's it. It's still pretty elegant. I hate how tall this is. But I don't know. I don't know what else I can do about it. Like, there's no way to really drop the module down. Okay, you know what? It makes what I want. Let's belt it in, and then we can potentially redesign while the quest finishes and makes the creation of this shape obsolete. By the time I redesign the machine to be better, this will have created itself. Like, this is... Is it the bottleneck? If I take this and I drag it down here a bunch, and then I split these off. This does spit out 2. This is the bottleneck. Okay, with that knowledge, we can redesign a better machine. Could just do it modular. Yeah, I could just do it modular, but it's more fun to do it linearly. Are there fundamental flaws that are keeping this from being tileable? Let's see. I think our first take is that is... Go down first. Oh my goodness. Go there. And then we'll break this off. Okay. If we start with the laser cutter, with this guy, what does that get us? It saves the rotating, so it makes this module thinner. We craft things properly. Okay. These need to be yellow. These need to be green. No, these need to be red. Circles need to be green. If I start with some circles back here, I'd prefer this thing to be thinner and longer. I want it to only be 4 or 5 tiles in this direction. I have decided. Can't breathe. Make sure my microphone's on. Okay, that's correct. That gets colored red. These shapes come down here. And these get colored yellow. I want to make the yellow on the spot. I'm not even paying attention to like which color is which in my head. I'm just like in full optimizing mode. I think this is red. Bottom red. Red, red, green, green, circles green, yes. Oh. Shit, I need it to be here. We could offset. Is there... If I made it one wider... No. Now, if I made it one wider, I could draw a belt in here like this. But that would require a belt coming up. That would cut out this gap here. Wait, it's still... That works. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Let's get some red and green. That's red. Yep. Oh, and this was the other thought. I was like, is there a way I can duplicate these and merge them together? Like these, that's easy, right? But now, can I do it again? If I cut this right away. Yeah, right there. Okay, this we're gonna do something wild. I'm gonna drag this up. Merger. Oh no. I gotta make sure the red goes on top of the yellow. Well, that's slightly unfortunate. It has a nice symmetry to it. Is there a prettier way? And also, can it keep up with itself? Come on, Josh, you can do it better than I can. I'm going to use the fancy one. Oh, did I kill? I killed circle production. Green's doing okay. Yellow's lagging because of the yellow production here. The paint mixing is bad. We need like 2 paint mixers. Alright, I can do on-site, like this is what I want. I want these lines in, and then a machine, and then 1 line out. And that, like, stacked, I can deal with the sorting of all these belts as they, like, tear down the line. And like, if I had those 2 belts coming like this, is there some kind of a module where I can like do this? Have the belts continue? You know what I'm saying? It would just like, it would decimate red. But in theory... Ah, see? There. This is the shape combiner. With shape combiner, you can combine 2 shapes to create a new merged shape. It will change everything. It really does it everything. Yeah, so there's the combined squircle that this needs. All right, well, we did it. We built very slowly a single machine, a single non-optimized tileable machine. Honestly, this does look nicer than this, somehow. But this would have tiled better. Anyway, it's 5 o'clock. I need to go for dinner. So this is normally the time I start streaming. But instead, we're ending the stream here. Thank you for watching this episode of Shapes. I hope you enjoyed. And that's all I have for today. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.